Om. Bole Umaपति Mahadev.
Surgurum Vande Jagatkaranam Vande Pangnagabhushanam Mrigadaram Vande Pashunam Patim Vande Surya Shashank Vahinayanam Vande Mukunda Priyam Vande Bhaktajanashrayam Javardam Vande Shivam Shankaram Padmasanastam Shashidhara Mukutam Panchavakram Trinitram Shulam Vajram Chagandham Parushubhayadam Dakshinamge Mahantam Pasham Chagandhadamaruka Sahitam Shankusham Vamabhage Nana Lankara Yuktam Spatikamalanibham Parvati Sham Namami Namaha Nidanapatantikaye Namaha Vaye Namaha Urdhvalingaya Namaha Hiranyaya Namaha Hiranyalingaya Namaha Divyaya Namaha Divyalingaya Namaha Bhavaya Namaha Bhavalingaya Namaha Sharvaya Namaha Namaha Shivaya Namaha Shivalingaya Namaha Jwalaya Namaha Jwalalingaya Namaha Atmaya Namaha Atmalingaya Namaha Paramaya Namaha Paramalingaya Namaha Etat Somasya Suryasya Sarvalinga Stapayati Pani Mantram Pavitram Sajjo Jatam Prabadhyami Sajjo Jataya Ve Namo Namaha Bhave Bhave Nati Bhave Bhavasya Mam Bodhbhavaya Namaha Vamadevaya Namo Jeshtaye Namo Rudraye Namo Rudraye Namaha Kalaye Namaha Balavikarnaye Namo Balaya Namo Balaprapatnaye Namo Sarvabhutadhamanaye Namo Manomanaye Namaha Aghore-ebhyo Taghore-ebhyo Aghora-ghora-tarebhyaha Sarve-ebhyo Sarva-sharve-ebhyo Namaste Asruddha-rupebhya Tatpurushaya Vidmahi Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodhayat Ishana Sarva-vidhyanam Ishana Sarva-bhutanam Brahmadipatir Brahmanodipatir Brahma Shivo me Astu Sada Shivo Mayascha-me, Priyam-cha-me, Kamascha-me, Mascha-me, Somanascha-me, Bhadram-cha-me, Kshemascha-me, Yashascha-me, Yashasva-me, Bhagascha-me, Dravidam-cha-me, Yanta-cha-me, Dharta-cha-me, Shemascha-me, Dhritischa-me, Cham-cha-me, Mahascha-me, Dits-cha-me, Yatram-cha-me, Sushis-cha-me, Prasus-cha-me, Shiram-cha-me, Tayas-cha-me, Vritam-cha-me, Amritam-cha-me, Yakshame, Jivatuscha-me, Mritam-cha-me, Bhayam-cha-me, Sugam-cha-me, Shayanam-cha-me, Susha-cha-me, Sudhinam-cha-me, Shanti, Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. Om Namaste Rudramanyavauto Teshave Namaha. Namaste Astu Dhanvane Bahubhyamudate Namaha. Yate Shushtama Shivam Babhuvate Danuhu शिवा शरव्याय तव तया नो रुद्रमृदया या ते रुद्र शिवा तनोरघोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तनवाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिशाकशिः यामीशुं गिरिशन्तहस्ते विवशस्तवे शिवां करिद्रुतां कुरु माहि गुंसीः पुरुषं जगत शिवेन वचसा त्वा गिरिशा चावधामसि यथा नः सर्वमिज्जगदयक्ष्मुगं सुमना असता अध्यवोचरि वक्ता प्रथमोऽधेभ्योऽभिषक अहीगश्च सर्वान् जम्बयन्त सर्वा आश्रयातु धान्यः असो यस्ताम्रो अर्ण उत बभ्रुः सुमङ्गलः ये चेमावं रुद्र अभितो दिक्षोक्षिताः सहस्रशो वैशागुं हे दहीमहे असो यो वसर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उदेनं गोपा अदृशन्नदृशन्नुदहार्यः उदेनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृष्टो मृदयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीदुषे अतो ये अस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो कर्णं वः प्रमुञ्च धन्वनस्तमुभयोरात्नियोर्यां याश्च ते हस्त इषवा पराता भगवो वप अवतत्त्वधनुस्त्वागं सहस्राक्षा श्रुदे श्रुदे निशेलशल्यानामुखा शिवो नः सुमना भव विज्जं धनुः कपर्दिनो विशल्यो वानवागुम् उत अनीशन्नस्य ईशवा आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः याते हीतिर्मृदुष्टं हस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्तमयक्ष्मया पुर्भुज नमस्ते अस्त्वायुधाय नातताय दृष्टवे उभाभ्यामुदते नमोऽप्यां तव धन्वने परिते धनुनो तिरस्मान् वृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो य इषिदिस्तवारे अस्मन् हि देहितं शम्भवे नमः भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय कालग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः नमो हिरण्यवाहवे सेनान्ये दिशां च पतये नमो नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यः पशूनां पतये नमो नमः तस्मिञ्जराय तुषीमते पथीनां पतये नमो नमो बभ्रूषाय विद्यादिनीनां पतये नमो नमो हरिकेशायोपवीतने पुष्टानां पतये नमो नमो भवस्य हेते जगतां पतये नमो नमो रुद्राय तथा विनेक्षेत्राणां पतये नमो नमः सूताय हन्ताय वनानां पतये नमो नमो रोहिताय स्तपतये वृक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो मन्त्रिणे वाणिजाय कक्षाणां पतये नमो नमो भुवन्तये वारिवस्मृतायौषधीनां पतये नमो नमः उच्चैर्घोषाय कृन्दयते पथीनां पतये नमो नमः पृथ्वीताय धावते स्तत्वनां पतये नमः नमः सहमानाय निव्यादन आव्याधिनीनां पतये नमो नमः प्रकुबाय निषङ्गने स्तेनानां पतये नमो नमो निषङ्गन इषिश्रीमते तस्कराणां पतये नमो नमो वञ्चते परिवञ्चते स्थायूनां पतये नमो नमो निचेर्यवे परिचराय रण्यानां पतये नमो नमः सृकाविभ्यो जगाग्वं सद्भ्यो मुष्टतां पतये नमो नमो असिमद्भयो नक्तं चरिभ्यः प्रकृन्तानां पतये नमो नमो उष्णीशने गिरिचराय कलुञ्चानां पतये नमो नमो इषुमद्भयो धन्वाभिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आतन्वानेभ्यः प्रतिदधानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आयश्चद्भ्यो वृषजद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः असिवद्भ्यो विद्यद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः आसीनेभ्यः शयानेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सुभाभ्यो जाग्रद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः दावद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सभाभ्यः सभापतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो अश्वेभ्यो अश्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमः आव्यादिनीभ्यो विविद्यन्तीभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः गुणाभ्यस्त्रिगं हतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रतेभ्यो रतेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो तेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनाभ्यः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्रुभ्यः सङ्गृहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो हरेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कूलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जेष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः शुकृद्भ्यो धन्वाकृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्यः श्वनिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः शुभ्यः शुपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः नमो भवाय च रुद्राय च नमः शर्वाय च पशुपतये च नमो नीलग्रीवाय शितिकण्ठाय च नमः कपर्दने च व्युक्तकेशाय च नमः सहस्राक्षाय शतधन्वने च नमो गिरीशाय च विविष्टाय च नमो मीदुष्टमाय च इषुमते च नमो ओहस्वाय च वामनाय च नमो बृहते च वर्षीयसे च नमो वृद्धाय च समृद्ध्वने च नमो आग्र्याय च प्रथमाय च नमः आशवे च जिराय च नमः शीघ्रियाय च शीव्याय च नमः ऊर्ण्याय च वसन्याय च नमः स्रोतस्याय च द्वितीयाय च ज्येष्ठाय च कनिष्ठाय च नमः पूर्वजाय च पर्जाय च नमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भयाय च नमो जगन्याय च बुद्न्याय च नमो सोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय च नमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नमः पूर्वजाय च खल्याय च नमः श्लोक्याय च वसन्याय च नमो वन्याय च कक्षाय च नमः श्रवाय च प्रतिश्रवाय च नमः आशुषेनाय च शूरथाय च नमः शूराय च विबन्धते च नमो वर्मणे च विरूतने च नमो विल्वने च न कविचने च नमः श्रुताय च श्रुतसेनाय च नमो दुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय च नमो विष्णवे च प्रमिषाय च नमो दूताय च प्रहिताय च नमो निषङ्गिने च शुद्धमते च नमो तीक्ष्णेष्णवे यायुधिने च नमो स्वायुधाय च सुधन्वने च नमः सुत्याय च पट्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीप्याय च नमः सूदाय च सरस्याय च नमो नाद्याय च वैशन्त्याय च नमः कूप्याय च वाट्याय च नमो वर्ष्याय च वर्ष्याय च नमो मेध्याय च विद्युत्याय च नमः ईग्र्याय च तप्याय च नमो वात्याय च रेश्म्याय च नमो वास्तव्याय च वास्तुपाय च नमः नमः सोमाय च रुद्राय च नमः ताम्राय च ऋणाय च नमः शङ्काय च पशुपतये च नमो उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वदाय च दूरे वदाय च नमो अन्त्रे च हनीयसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्ताराय नमः शम्भवे च मयो भवे च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च नमस्तीर्थ्याय च कुल्याय च नमः पायाय च वार्याय च नमः प्रतरणाय चोतरणाय च नमः आतर्याय च लाद्याय च नमः षष्ट्याय च फेन्याय च सकित्याय च प्रहर्त्याय नमः इरण्याय च प्रपत्याय च नमः हिगंशूलाय च क्षयनाय च नमः कपर्दने च पुलस्तये च नमो गोष्ट्याय च गृह्याय च नमः तल्प्याय च नमो काट्याय च गृहिष्याय च नमो हृदयाय च निवेष्ट्याय च नमः पागुंसव्याय च रजस्याय च नमः शुष्क्याय च हरित्याय च नमो लोप्याय च लप्याय च नमः ऊर्वजाय च सूर्म्याय च नमः पर्ण्याय च पर्णाशदाय च नमो पगुमरमानाय च विबिन्दते च नमो अखिरिते च प्रखिरिते च नमो वक्किरिकेभ्यो देवानागं हृदयेभ्यो नमो विक्ष्णीनकेभ्यो नमः विचिन्वक्केभ्यो नमः अनिर्हतेभ्यो नमः आमिवक्केभ्यः ॐ नमस्ते भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालग्निकालाय कालग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षे अमामृतात् तं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षे अमामृतात् यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षे अमामृतात् यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षे अमामृतात् ॐ यामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षे अमामृतात् यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षे यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मोक्षे अमामृतात्
प्यारा सजाए तेरा द्वार भवानी, प्यारा सजाए तेरा द्वार भवानी, प्यारा सजाए तेरा द्वार भवानी, भक्तों की नगरी कदार भवानी, भक्तों की नगरी कदार भवानी। ऊंचे पर्वत मवन निराला, ऊंचे पर्वत मवन निराला, आगे शीश नवाए संसार भवानी, शीश नवाए संसार भवानी, प्यारा सजाए तेरा द्वार भवानी, प्यारा सजाए तेरा द्वार भवानी। जगमग जगमग जोत जगे, जगमग जगमग जोत जगे, तेरे चरणों में गंगा की धार भवानी, चरणों में गंगा की धार हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो हे गिरिजापरि भवानी शंकर हे गिरिजापरि भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो 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 हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो हे गिरिजापरि भवानी शंकर हे गिरिजापरि भवानी शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो 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 हे शिव शंकर नमामि शंकर शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो शिव शंकर शंभो
शिव हरे है हरे शिव है 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 साम सदा शिव शिव हर है सांब सदा शिव शिव हर है शिव हर है हरे शिव है शिव हर है हरे शिव है सांब सदा शिव शिव हर है साम सदा शिव शिव हर है हरे 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 महा तव चरणं भजामि शङ्कर तव चरणं शिव हर है शिव है शिव हर है शिव है सांब सदा शिव शिव हर है सांब सदा शिव शिव हर है बाल गंगाधर नमः शिवाय बाल गंगाधर नमः शिवाय हे शिव शंकर महादेवाय हे शिव शंकर महादेवाय नत शिव शंकर परमेश्वरा नत शिव शंकर परमेश्वरा भजामि शंकर नमः शिवाय भजामि शंकर नमः शिवाय भजामि शंकर नमः शिवाय गर्जना निद्रा समाधि स्थिति संचार परयो प्रदक्षिण विधि स्तोत्राणि सर्वा गिरा यद्यत् कर्मं करोमि तदखिलं शम्भो तवाराधनं न कृतं वा कायजं हिम्मजं वा मननेनजं वा मानसं वा पराधं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व जय जय करुणाधीश महादेव शम्भो चन्द्रशेखराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय नमः हर हर हराय नमः हर हर हराय नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय नमः हर हर हराय नमः हर हर हराय नमः शिव शिव शिवाय नमः शिव शिव शिवाय नमः जय रामेश्वराय नमः जय रामेश्वराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय नमः ॐ नमः शिवाय नमः हर हर हराय नमः हर हर हराय नमः शिव शिव शिवाय नमः शिव शिव शिवाय नमः जय रामेश्वराय नमः जय रामेश्वराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः चन्द्रशेखराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः गङ्गाधराय नमः
बोले मापति महादेव की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो। नमश्चंदिकाय ओम नमः शिवाय। शिवजी चालीसा। जय गणेश गिरिजा सुवन। पंडित जी दरवाजे पे बैठो। कोट अलाउड नहीं है मंदिर में, जैकेट नहीं अलाउड है मंदिर में। जय गणेश गिरिजा सुवन मंगल मूल सुजान। कहत अयोध्या दास तुम देहूं अभय वरदान। जय गिरिजापति दीन दयाला। सदा करत संतन प्रतिपाला। भाल चंद्रमा सोहतनी के। कानन कुंडल नागपणि के। अंग गौर सिर गंग बहाए। मुंद माल तन छाड़ लगाए। वस्त्र खाल बाघंबर सोहे। छवि को देख नाग मुनि मोहे। मैना मातु की हवे दुलारी। वाम अंग सोहत छवि न्यारी। कर त्रिशूल सोहत छवि भारी। करत सदा शत्रुन जयकारी। नंदी गणेश सोहे तह कैसे। सागर माध्य कमल है जैसे। कार्तिक श्याम और घन राहु। या छवि को कही जात न काहू। देवन जब ही जाए पुकारा। तब ही दुख प्रभु आप निवारा। किया उपद्रव तारक भारी।
देवन सब मिली तुम्हि छुहारी।
तुरत शदानन आप पठायहु। लव निमेष महिमार गिरायहु।
आप जलंधर असुर संहारा।
सुयश तुम्हार विदित संसारा।
त्रिपुरासुर
संयुद्ध मचाई। करहु कृपा
कर लीन बचाई।
किया तप ही भागीरथ भारी। पूर्व प्रतिज्ञातास पुरारी। दानिन मह तुम सम को नाही। सेवक स्तुति करत सदा ही। वेद नाम महिमा तब गाए। अकत अनादि भेद नहीं पाई। प्रगति उदधि मंथन में ज्वाला। जरे सुरासुर वहे बिहाला। हीन कीन्ह दयातः करहु सहाई। नीलकंठ तब नाम कहाई। पूजन रामचंद्र जब कीन्हा, जीत की लंका विभीषण दीन्हा। सहस कमल में हो रही धारी, कीन्ह परीक्षा तब ही पुरारी।
एक कमल प्रभु राखियो जोई, कमल नयन पूजन सहसोई।
कठिन भक्ति देखी प्रभु शंकर, भये प्रसन्न दिए चितवर। जय 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 अनंत अविनाशी, करत कृपा सबके घतवासी। दुष्ट सकल नित मोहि सतावे, भ्रमत रहे मोहि चैन नावे। त्राहि त्राहि मैं नाथ पुकारो, यही अवसर मोहियान उबारो। ले त्रिशूल शत्रुन को मारो, संकट से मोहियान उबारो। मात पिता भ्राता सब कोई, संकट में पूछत नहीं कोई। स्वामी एक है आस तुम्हारी, आय हरहु अब संकट भारी। धन निर्धन को देत सदा ही, जो कोई जाचे सो फल पाई। स्तुति के ही विधि करहु तुम्हारी, क्षमहु नाथ अब छूक हमारी। शंकर हो संकट के नाशन, मंगल कारण विघ्न विनाशन। योगी यति मुनि ध्यान लगावे, नारद सारद शीश नभावे। नमो नमो जय नमो शिवाय, सुर ब्रह्मादिक पार न पाया। जो यह पात करे मन लाई, तापर होत है शंभु सहाई। ऋनिया जो कोई हो अधिकारी, पात करे सो पावन हारी। पुत्रहीन इच्छा कर कोई, निश्चय शिव प्रसाद ते होई। पंडित त्रयोदशी को लावे, ध्यान पूर्वक होम करावे। त्रयोदशी व्रत करे हमेशा, तन नहीं ताके रहे कलेशा। धूप दीप नैवेद्य चढ़ाए, शंकर सन्मुख पात सुनावे। जन्म जन्म के पाप नसावे, अंतवास शिवपुर में पावे। कहे अयोध्या आस तुम्हारी, जानू सकल दुख हरहु हमारी, जानी सकल दुख हरहु हमारी, जानी सकल दुख हरहु हमारी। नित्य नेम कर प्रातहि, पात करो 40, तुम मेरे मनोकामना पूर्ण कीन कल्याण। उमापति महादेव की जय। रुद्राष्टकम। नमामि शमीशान निर्वाण रूपम, विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेद स्वरूपं, विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेद स्वरूपं। नमामि शमीशान निर्वाण रूपं, विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेद स्वरूपं, विभुं व्यापकं ब्रह्मवेद स्वरूपं। निजं निर्गुणं निर्विकल्पं निरीहं, चिदाकाशवाकाशभासं भजेऽहं, चिदाकाशवाकाशभासं निराकार मोंकार मूलं तुरीयं, गिरा ज्ञान गोतीतमीशं गिरीशं, करालं महाकाल कालं कृपालं, गुनागार संसार पारं नतोऽहं, गुनागार संसार पारं नतोऽहं। तुषारादृशं काशगौरं गभीरं, मनोभूतकोटि प्रभाश्रीशरीरं, सुरन्मौलिकल्लोलिनी चारुगङ्गा, लसत् भाल भाले कंते भुजंगा, चलत कुंडलं भ्रूसुनेत्रं विशालं, प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालं, प्रसन्नाननं नीलकण्ठं दयालं। मृगादीशचर्माम्बरं मुन्दमालं, प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि, प्रियं शङ्करं सर्वनाथं भजामि। प्रचण्डं प्रकृष्टं प्रगल्भं परेशम्, अकन्धं मजं भानुकोटि प्रकाशं, त्रयः शूलनिर्मूलनं शूलपाणिं, भजेऽहं भवानीं पतिं भावगम्यं, भजेऽहं भवानीं पतिं भावगम्यं। कलातीत कल्याण कल्पान्तकारी, सदा सज्जनानन्ददाता पुरारी, चिदानंद संदोह मोहपहारी, प्रसीद प्रसीद प्रभो मन्मथारी। नयावद उमानाथ पादारविन्दं, भजन्ति हलोके परे वानराणम् भजन्ति हलोके परे वानराणम् न तावत् सुखं शान्ति सन्तापनाशम् प्रसीद प्रभो सर्वभूतादिवासम् प्रसीद प्रभो सर्वभूतादिवासम् न जानामि योगं जपं नैव पूजां नतोऽहं सदा सर्वदा सम्भुतोऽभ्यं जराजन्म दुःखोऽज्ञतातप्यमानम् प्रभु पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो प्रभु पाहि आपन्नमामीश शम्भो ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 रुद्राष्टकमिदं प्रोक्तं विप्रेण हरतोषये शिवलोकमवाप्नोति शिवेन सह मोदते बोले उमापति महादेव की जय नमः पार्वती पतये हर 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 महादेव शंभो काशी विश्वनाथ भगवान की जय. My pranam to all of you. Jai Sitaram, everybody. Jai Sitaram. Hello, anybody here? Sitaram. Nice to see all of you and all of you online, of course, on this beautiful Monday evening. Rajneesh. So Monday, I say it's a beautiful. Monday evening because we are alive. Hopefully you're happy and you're joyful. As long as there's life, nothing else matters. We can always work on everything else that we need. This evening, blessings by Bhagwan Bholenath to all of you. And of course, may he Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam, the one who's always Sugandhim, who's always sweet smelling, sweet scented. The more we become attached to him and affiliated with him, the more we leave smelling sweet. Sweetness for Bholenath Bhagwan is not an external application of anything that makes him sweet. We have to experience that sweetness by applying, Sugandhim, Pushtivardhanam, like Atar and Sandal, Chandan and so. We have to apply that to experience what we need to experience. But for him, when he, in the yogic culture, tells us that when Mahadev Bhagavan is aligned internally, which he always is, that whatever is reflected inside of him or whatever resides in him, that is reflected outside. The sweetness, the calmness, the stir of the Lord is what we can take away. Of the 1,000 names of the Lord Bholenath Bhagavan, the first name is Sthir. Om Sthiraye Namaha. This is the Shiva Sahasranam, which on December 27th, we will start to chant at the temple every morning at 5 a.m. Shiva Sahasranam. Shiva Sahasranam is the mool, is the root of all material desires in this life. There are different things that we can use for different purposes. But when we chant Shiva Sahasranam, all of them, when we chant Lalita Sahasranam, Ma Lalita Devi manifest and bless us with worldly things. When we chant Shiva Sahasranam, we atone. Atone, just like we say, you do Agni, like Havan for atonement, Sarva Prayaschit Homa. There's a Homa called Prayaschit Homams. Tvanno Agni Varunasya Vidvanade, and so on. It's called Prayaschit Homa, atonement. When you do the chanting of Shiva Sahasranam, it provides atonement to one's life, and it also blesses you with the weapons or the instruments that are necessary for you to advance in life. All of us know the story of Bhagavan Vishnu when he wanted the weapon that could destroy any devata that is unstoppable. He prayed, he did tapasya and sadhana to Shiva Bhagavan, and he chanted the Shiva Sahasranam. We will be doing this for 54 days because that's all we can do. But in the first name, the Lord is called Sthira. Sthiraye namah sthanave prabhave. Sthiraye namah sthanave namah prabhave namah bhimaye namah. Sthira means steady. Steady. Krishna Bhagavan has even told us in chapter 6 of the Gita that if you just remain steady, just close your eyes, don't fatigue about thinking or unthinking things from your mind. If you just stay steady, sit still in your life, then meditativeness becomes a part of you. You become so meditative. You don't have to try to meditate. You don't have to look at anything. You just stay still. Still, or in your body and in your mind, that is. Remember the analogy with the water. When the water is being heated, it starts to boil, and it is not steady, it's not still. And you put your face over it, you will see like your face is being deformed, or whatever object it is deformed. But the minute the water cools down and stops boiling, then you are able to see a good, clear reflection of an object in the water. Stillness allows us, or sthir, allows us to see things very differently, in a good way. Stillness of the mind and of the body allows us to be more perceptive of life in a blissful way. And that is when many will be complaining about life, you will be embracing that very life. The same weather that many of us complain about because it raises pains and aches and so on, many people are able to embrace it and take a walk in it, sometimes to enjoy nature itself. One of the things that help us to do that is called sthira, to be still and to be steady in everything that you do. Now, if you do look at it at a base level, you have to be still when most things you do. Your focus have to be laser when you're driving, when you're doing an exam, when you're cooking, and the minute you're distracted or you're elsewhere, your mind is elsewhere and your body is here, what happens? The results are not favorable, which means that the food may not stay that sweet. Your driving lane, you may cause a little accident or distracted driving. Sthir is that name of Shiva that allows us to be gentle and still. Mahadev Bhagavan embraces so many things, and yet he's able to stay still. Remember the analogy with the snake. The snake can only dwell upon an object which he senses no life, in which a snake senses no agitation. Shivji is so calm that the snake, Vasuki, wraps around his neck, his hands, without sensing any life whatsoever. Stillness allows us to become a friend to the world. Stillness allows us to attract all forms of life as a friend. Stillness allows us as well to embrace the divine in a very unique way. When we are still And when we are focused, then energies of the divine will find no difficulty in getting into us. This is a beautiful name of Shivji Bhagwan that is called Sthira. And it is of course our prayer that our mind always remains still. Our actions always remain focused. Our body is only aligned and directed to do things that will bring harmony to the self and to all around us. Bhagwan Bholenath, in this way, when he sets up everything, he tells us about 1,000 names, but he said, first of all, you must be still and you must be steady. In this way, everything is achieved. Om Sthiraye Namaha. The second name of the Lord in the Shiva Sahasranam is Sthanave Namaha. Sthan means your posture. Sthira Sthanave Prabhave. Sthan is your posture. When that stillness is the foundation, then your entire posture, whether you're sitting or standing, your posture is aligned with the geometry of the world to bring you bliss. There is something that the West is selling us today called yoga. All of us know what yoga is. The first thing that we think of when yoga is thought about is you have to buy certain clothes, Lululemon, and you have to go do yoga. And then when you go buy Lululemon, you figure out that a pants and shirt costs you about $300-400. Just a t-shirt and a pants cost $300. And you think that yoga is expensive. Atha yoga anusasanam, as the great saint who brought yoga to us tells us, Atha yoga anusasanam yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Patanjali Maharaj, or Saint Patanjali, brought yoga to us. And the first verse in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra says, Atha yoga anusasanam, and now we shall begin yoga. And when the philosophers look at it, they say, why is he saying the first verse? You would think that he would put this in the 3rd or 4th chapter after he has created a foundation and says, Atha yoga anusasanam. But the very first verse he says, Atha yoga anusasanam, yoga anusasanam. Now let's begin yoga. That there tells us, when we go deeper in the verse, that before we do yoga, which is a geometry of your body, you have to sit in a certain way, stretch in a certain way, stand in a certain way, all of the 84 asanas that yoga has, all of them, we have to posture our body in a certain way that we become one with creation. It's a geometry. But in order to do that, we must have sthana. Sthan means your posture. Your posture must be firm. If you're bending, you have to bend appropriately. If you're sitting, you have to sit appropriately. If you're standing, you have to stand appropriately. And if you're thinking as well, because yoga is not only a physical form. In the 2nd verse of the Patanjali Sutra, it tells us, yoga, what is yoga? Chitta vritti nirodha. Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. Because part of yoga is chitta, consciousness, right? If we're going to do this yoga and we're going to deliver a physical aspect of us to Shiva, then our mind as well must be conscious and must be in the right posture. How do you put the mind in the right posture? We always say, what frame of mind do you have? We know the frame of the body, that is very physical, right? I'm not referring to your looks. I'm referring to the way we do everything. Most people, when they go somewhere, they do a great job in helping to brace up the wall, to make sure that everything stays on the wall and everything. Nothing wrong with that. So that's very visible, right? The physical frame of the body is very visible. But what is the frame of mind? What is the frame of mind? What is the sthana of the mind? What is the posture of the mind? Is the body leading the mind, or is the mind leading the body? When the mind leads the body, it could be a very good thing and a very bad thing. It's like a horse leading the chariot. Well, of course, the chariot wouldn't lead the horse, but if the horse is wild, then he'll run in all directions without any care, without any messages being taken or instructions being taken from the charioteer. The horses will go all over the place. But if the horse is trained and tamed, right, by a little jerk of the rope, he will know when to stall, when to run, when to slow down, etc. So when the mind is in the right posture, is in the right sthana, and the mind is leading us, then it's a good thing. But if the mind is uncontrolled, without a proper posture, without a proper frame, then we are in great difficulty. But Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells us, greater than the body is the mind. Greater than the mind are the senses. Greater than the senses are the intellect. So that's where Shiva comes in. Sthiraye namah, sthanave namah, prabhave namah. May our intellect always be stationed in the right place as well and directed to do the right things. So 3 names we talked about. Sthir, which means still, must be still, and it represents calmness. Sthana, the posture of your body and of your mind. Sthiraye namah, sthanave namah, prabhave namah. And your intellect must always be sharp enough, of course, to cut through the negativity of life and allow positiveness to appear. How is all this going to happen though? Is it with a simple prayer that we can be still, that we can be firm and high in intellect? Is it with a simple prayer? The other day I was talking about prayer and the purpose of a prayer in our life. Prayer should never be a reactive tool. Of course, you can pray anytime. People will always ask you, Panditji, please set my puja on a good time when it is good for prayers. And then my question is always, when is a bad time for praying? When is so bad that you can't pray, right? It is never a bad time to pray. So prayer is never a reactive tool. Prayer is never a reactive activity. Prayer is always proactive. Prayer is done to harness your mana and your body, your mind and body, harness it with all the tools which are required. So when happiness comes, you will know how to enjoy your happiness. And of course, when sadness comes, you will know how to deal with those moments of sadness as well. But if we are looking to, get a prayer when a challenge comes in life to take it away, we will be in a lot of challenges. I want to leave with you a few prayers this evening. This is a very unusual prayer though. A prayer that was delivered from a woman who was very powerful. She had powerful children. Her name was Kunti, Mata Kunti. Everybody heard of Kunti? You should have heard of Kunti. She's the mother of the Pandavas plus Karna in the Mahabharata. When the Mahabharata was finished, Bhagavan Shri Krishna was leaving to go to Dwaraka. And what did she pray for? Namo kinchana vrittaya nivritta gunavrittaye Atma Ramaya Shantaya Kaivalya Pataye Namaha भारावतारन्नयान्ये भुवेनावायिवो दधौ सदिनान्त्या भूमिमारेण जातो हत्यां शुभातितः विपदाः सन्तु ताः शश्वतत्र तत्र जगद्दुरे भवतो दर्शनं संस्त्याद पुनर्भव दर्शनम् नमस्ते पुरुषं त्वमादिभीश्वरं प्रकृते परम् अलक्ष्यं सर्वभूतानाम् अंतर्बहिर्यस्थितम्. Mata Kunti, who was the Puja of Lord Krishna, she went and she held on to the feet of Bhagwan Krishna and she said, Namo Kinchana Vittaya. All honor to you, O Krishna, all honor to you, the wealth of ones living in poverty. The wealth of those who are living in poverty. So you may ask, what about those who have wealth? Is he not the wealth of them? Well, they already have him. But this Bhagavad Shloka tells us, Krishna Bhagwan is the hope of the hopeless, the Lord. And he's the one who transcends our emotion. You are like a boat, O Lord, on the sea, who came to take away the burden of extreme worldly grief. God, that is the purpose of the Lord, to come and to bless us to enjoy happiness, and yes, to help us to take away worldly grief from our lives. What did she beg for? Vipada santu taha. This is a popular prayer of the Bhagavatam. Vipada santu taha shashvatatra tatra jagaddure. I wish we would have more of those calamities. What did she pray for? Vipada. Vipada means calamities. My Lord, I pray today for you to bless me with calamities, with distresses, with sorrows. O Master of the universe, Keshava, Bhavato darshanam sanyadaha. Bless me with troubles and sorrows, O Lord, so that we can meet you again and again. When we are happy, it is natural that we pray less. I'm not saying everybody, I'm saying most people. It is natural that we pray less when we are happy because you take everything for granted. Many things in life are taken for granted. Even life is taken for granted. We eat irresponsibly because we think that we are healthy. We don't have a heart attack, we don't have a stroke, we don't have cancer, we don't have bone pain, we have nothing. So we eat irresponsibly. Because to you, nothing has happened, right? A lot of us only change when calamities, when disasters struck us. Many people are starting to eat healthy in their 60s and 70s in life because they've had some attack from the body. The body has told them you have to slow down at 60 or 70 or 50 sometimes. That is very reactive. It is very, very natural in life that we only make changes when certain disasters has hit us, health-wise, material-wise, whatever it is. And then we start to do all the good things which we should be doing in the first place. Bhagavati Kunti Mata prays to the Lord. He says, Lord, bless me with sorrows, because it is only when we are sorrowful that we pray to you the most, that we meet you again and again. Because meeting you means that we no longer see the repetition of birth and death, my Lord. When we meet you, we do not have to come back here again and see this world. That was our prayer to the Lord. Now, please don't pray to God, to get sorrows. We are different. We have enough problems and sorrows in our life. But what do we pray for? We pray to have the blessings of Shivji, so that we may always be sthir, sthana, and prabhava. We will always be still. We will always have firmness in our posture, and we'll use our intellect to do all the beautiful things of life. It is my prayer this evening that all of you have a thirst, and a thirst that can never be quenched. That is a thirst to always embrace God. How do you explain, the body, when the body has a thirst, the body drinks the water. But when the eyes have a thirst to see a beautiful form like Shivji, how do you explain that to the eyes? What liquid or what material can you pour in the eyes to quench that thirst? Only the form of the Lord. It is a blessing to see all of you this evening. May you always have a thirst to see God. May you always pray whether you have happiness or sadness in your life. May you never forget the Lord in your happy moments. And may you always have a thirst to be at His feet. Today we did Anprashan Sanskar for little baby Dian. And Anprashan Sanskar means before a person eats grains, they make prayers and they appeal to Mother Annapurna for blessing the grains so that the grains will become medicine to the body. He's so handsome and he's such a happy baby. And I'm sure I'm not sure, I'm very certain that he was laughing this afternoon because he saw me, because we were having a little conversation in front of Shivji Bhagwan and Parvati, and he was just so happy. I pray that may Bhagwan Shivji and Parvati Mata bless him in abundance for good health, long life and happiness. May he always stay strong by the blessings of the Devi, Annapurna Devi. Prem se bolo Annapurna Mata ki jai, Umapati Mahadev ki jai, Pavan Sut Hanuman ki jai, Siyavar Ramchandra ki jai. Tomorrow is Hanumanji Chalisa at the temple. Please come on out if you can. And next week, Monday, is Pradosh. So we'll have puja at the temple. The temple is opened, of course, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day, including Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and so on. So please come on out and get the blessings of the Lord. So next Monday is Pradosh. We hope to see all of you for Pradosh. And starting on December 27th, it will be 54 days before Shivratri. If you would like to do a sadhana, please feel free to. You can do Mahamrityunjay mantra 108 times for 54 days, or many times, as much as you can. We have to be practical. A lot of people will be on holidays and will be engaged in family time and so it may not be practical for you. If you'd like, you can do 21 days of sadhana to Shivji, whatever 21 days is before February. You can do 14 days, you can do 7 days, you can do 3 days. But do not do 1 day, which is Shivratri Day alone, because you will not enjoy it. Just do something different that matters to Bhagwan Bholenath. And this is called sadhana. The sadhana is the burning process. So usually I'm at the temple starting the puja at 5 every morning. Hopefully with the blessings of Bholenath Bhagwan, I'll be able to do that this year. But God knows. So if you want to follow, we usually do it live on Facebook on Bhavani Shankar Mandir. So join us if you can. I may not be live every morning, maybe 1 or 2 morning, but I'll be away, but the puja will still go on, of course. And the Sastranam will still be chanted. So this is our offering to Bhagwan Bholinath, because as I told you, Shiva Sahasranam is for atonement. Every day we're doing so many things, we don't know what we're doing wrong or right, or we know sometimes we're doing wrong and right. So we need to atone, and atonement is very important in life, because we cleanse the body as an atonement physically, but how do you do so to the mind? And since the mind is our horse, we got to keep it tamed and controlled. जय भोला भंडारी शिव हरि, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हरि, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हरि, जय भोला भंडारी, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जग के हितकारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हरि, जय भोला भंडारी। निश दिन तेरा ध्यान करे हम, सिमरे मंत्र तिहारा, निश दिन तेरा ध्यान करे हम, सिमरे मंत्र तिहारा। हे शिव शंकर मंत्र जगावो, होवे घट उजियारा। नमामि शंकर, नमामि शंकर, नमामि शंकर, नमामि शंकर, कृपा करो त्रिपुरारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हरि, जय भोला भंडारी।
शंखनाद से शब्द जगा कर स्वर संगीत बहाया,
शंखनाद से शब्द जगा कर स्वर संगीत बहाया। युग युग से ये सृष्टि नाते ऐसा डमरू बजाया। युग युग से ये सृष्टि नाते ऐसा डमरू बजाया। तेरी याद भुला से जग में, तेरी याद भुला के जग में दुख पावे संसारी। जय भोला भंडारी शिव हरि, जय भोला भंडारी। जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर। सब जग के हितकारी। जय भोला भंडारी शिव हरि, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हरि, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी। उमापति महादेव की। I want to thank Nikita for coming and playing tabla today. Please give her a big hand. She's, of course, our Tyler is away and the other boys are away, so she's one of the Dinesh's students, and we're having them to help us during the holiday season. And thank you very much for coming today, helping us out to play. It was very nice. Okay, we can do Aarti now. Om. Om yani kani cha papani janmantar kritani cha tani sarvani nashyantu pradakshina pade pade. Om Jai Shiva Omkara.
स्वामी हरे शिव ओंकारा, जय शिव ओंकारा। स्वामी हरे शिव ओंकारा, ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदाशिव, ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदाशिव। अर्धांगी धारा, ओम जय शिव ओंकारा। ओम हर 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 महादेव। एकानन चतुरानन पंचानन राजे, स्वामी पंचानन राजे। जय शिव ओंकारा स्वामी हरि शिव ओंकारा ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदाशिव ब्रह्मा विष्णु सदाशिव अर्धांगी धारा ओम जय शिव ओंकारा ओम
हर 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 महादेव ओम हर 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 महादेव कर्पूर गौरम करुणावतारम संसार सारम भुजगेन्द्रहारम सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम। बोले गणपति भगवान की, गुरु महाराज की, पवन सुत हनुमान की, सिया भज रामचंद्र की, लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की, श्री बांके बिहारी लाल वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की, बालकृष्ण लाल की, गंगा मैया की जय, यमुना मैया की जय, गौ माता की जय, भारत माता की, सूर्य नारायण स्वामी की, सत्यनारायण स्वामी की, श्री सरस्वती माता की जय, महालक्ष्मी माता की जय, जयकारा शेरवाली दा बोल साचे दरबार की जय, देवों की देव महादेव की जय, सत्य सनातन धर्म की सबको ये जय जय सीताराम। Jai Sitaram everyone. Shubhratri. Good night. Please take our tea and the prasadam at the door before you go. Safe drive home.